Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 241 Flying Solo. Might have McMurray joining us later. Not sure, hadn't heard from him yet. I do know Reese is not going to be with us this evening. He's preoccupied with getting some stuff taken care of. But we've got Telemachus in the house. Hey, Telemachus, how you doing, sir? He says, greetings, friends. Charles says, we're here, Chris. You ain't never completely alone. I appreciate that. And he says hello to Telemachus. And then Telemachus responds with, I'm only alone in my own head. I hope that wasn't too sad to hear. Well, if you're alone in your head, I'm crowded up here, man. I got 3 or 4 guys going on up there all at once. So be that as it may. I hope everybody has been having a good week so far. I had a great weekend. This past Thursday, past Thursday we played Check Your Six. About 1943, 44 time frame. VMF 214 Black Sheep against some Japanese Judies and Zeros. Technically, the Japanese did get their objective of bombing a certain location on an island. However, they lost a lot of airplanes, and the Americans. I don't think we lost a single. I don't think we lost a single Corsair. It was a lot of fun. I've always liked Check Your Six. It was a good game. Really liked it. And then Saturday went over to my buddy Joel's house and we played Dragon Rampant using 10 millimeter War Master models. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoy Dragon Rampant to the point where I've spent a good portion of Sunday taking the lists for the Bretonians and out of War Master Armies book and the list for the vampire counts out of War Master and converted them to the best of my ability over to Dragon Rampant. So I'm still in the process of painting up my my Bretonians. I got this one stand of knights painted up. I think I need to probably hit the whites with some apothecary white to kind of deepen the colors a little. And I don't know. I don't know if I need to also do some sort of a wash over them or not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I've got the rest of those guys to paint up. And then I just finished getting these archers and Pegasus Knights and Grail Knights primed up. And got those going. I've got some peasants that I need to finish cleaning up. I got a whole slew of them to go. And then also on the build plate currently is a unit of men at arms. So I got to get them cleaned up and off the build plate and cleaned up to get them ready to go. But I wanted to get those guys primed up because tomorrow night we're not gaming over at Doug's place. We are doing a paint night and then figuring out what gaming we're going to be doing over the next 4 to 6 weeks. So we'll see. Now, one of the guys there is going to bring Star Trek Attack Wing. So if anybody's there that doesn't want to paint but wants still wants to hang out, they're going to have they'll have Attack Wing to play. One of the games that I'm interested in is, and I should have already grabbed this before I started talking, but I didn't. But one of the games that I'm interested in taking over there is Captain Sonar. This looks to be a very, very interesting game. Um, it's for 2 to 8 players, and it says it's 45 minutes long. I'm sure that's once you know how to play the game. Let's see. Charles says I've broken a few vows. I said never ever do any kind of Napoleonics. Broke that. Then I said no modern stuff. Though I have the Central Front Series games for NSPI, not touched this century. Well, there you go. There you go. So it's interesting what we consider modern stuff these days, uh, because back in the '80s, um, you know, World War II was forever ago. That was historical. Now it's 2026, and 1986 is the same amount of time, but people still consider Cold War quote unquote modern. I find that interesting. Well, and that goes hand in hand with our at least some United States uh, frontline fighters. Our newest frontline fighter is the F-35, and it's still what 15 years old. Um, a frontline fighter in the 1950s was 5 years old, and it changed out on the regular. So, um, Charles says, broke that, ordered some T-80s and West German Leopards on 285th scale. There you go. Now, to be fair, T-80s were around in the mid 80s to mid 90s, if I remember correctly. And depending on which leopards you're referring to, those leopards could be from then also. So you're still not in this century. So, Telemachus says, I want all the centuries included, including the ones that do not exist yet. There you go. Very much so. So, um, but yeah, I actually picked this up at Half Price Books for $22.50, um, and it looks like when I pull it all out, I really need to clean my desk. Um, it's um, it's never been played. Um, got all the markers here, um, with little erasers. Even got the extra erasers here. So yeah, I need to read up on how this game plays, because like I said, I want to take it over to the Thursday night game group. Take it over to Doug's house. Um, and this all this is just a way to keep each side from looking at what the other is doing. Um, Pretty cool all around. So I'm gonna have to check it out. It is a big box of stuff, Charles. And for $22.50, it's not too shabby. Um, like I said, it 2 to 8 players. Uh, and it's uh, this is the entirety of the rules, apparently. Um, so it's not going to take long to read. It's got a couple of scenarios on the back. Um, it says game overview. In Captain Sonar, two teams operate opposing submarines battling for control of the ocean's depths. Each teammate has his own station and responsibilities aboard the vessel. The players will have to coordinate and communicate effectively to survive. Important, there are two different ways to play: real time mode and turn by turn mode. For a first game, or if you're playing in a noisy environment, we suggest you play the turn by turn mode. However, the real time mode will guarantee that you get the stress and adrenaline rush of real submarine duel. So, yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. We'll have to see how it goes. The four positions that that are represented in the game are captain, first mate, engineer, and radio operator. So, um, yeah, gonna have to definitely see how it goes, and like I said, get it over to the group. Hey, Mythos, how you doing, brother? Glad you could make it. If y'all don't already know, and I'm sure the three others that are out there watching already know, but Mythos has his own show on Friday nights. That's at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on his channel. Now, I don't have a bot that automatically populates people's channels when their name is mentioned, either, and obviously not by voice, but uh, in text in the messenger. But go check out his page. It's um, let me see here. I think if you look up Wolf Brother Hobbies, you'll find it. So Charles said received Infernal Machine ACW subs. Big box heavy, a toe breaker if you drop it. Yeah, well, we don't want to be doing any toe breaking around here. I've got that already covered. Um, by the way, the toe is healing up uh, slowly but surely. I've got, after tomorrow, I've got 3 more weeks of antibiotics, and hopefully the toe will be healed up enough that I can be released back to work, which is, it sounds all well and good not to, have to go to work every day and you can do whatever you want, except that I can't do whatever I want because, well, it so happens that I've still got bills to pay. So I got to figure out how to make money. And so we've been, Donna and I have been door dashing. We're not making a lot of money, but we're making enough to get some critical bills paid. And right now we've told all the credit card companies to go kick rocks. They'll get paid when they get paid. If they close the accounts, they close the accounts. I, you know, not much I can do when there's literally no money coming in, and that's where you are. But that doesn't keep me from doing my show here. Doesn't keep me from going out and getting some gaming done. It doesn't keep me from uh, going and having some fun. So uh, roll out in the car every day after I go to my antibiotics appointment, and we go anywhere 5, 6, 7 hours. Uh, you know, doing our best to make as much money as we can while we can. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully in the next, in 3 weeks, I'll get the clear to head back to work, and they will have a slot open for me at the at the data center to go back to. So we'll see. But we're not here to we are not here to hear about my woes. We're here to talk about gaming and whatnot. So yeah. Uh, Thanks, Mythos. It's gonna get better. I we've been in dire straits before. Um, Not the band, of course, which is an amazing band, but you know we've been uh, we've been in difficult places. Luckily, we're living with our daughter, and although she's struggling, also we're we're helping out as much as we can, and we'll once I get back on my feet, uh, we'll we'll be able to help her out more again. Thank you, Charles. I appreciate it. You know, I this group I truly yes, money for nothing and chicks for free. That would be great. I just don't know how to play the guitar. I have attempted to learn. My fingers just don't do it. Um, I couldn't even do the bass very well, and you know, I mean, I can stand stoically like uh, John Entwistle from the Who. I mean, you had Townsend and Mooney and Roger Daltrey just going ape shit all over the stage, and there's Entwistle just over in the corner. Classic, classic. Um, wow, we're getting off into music. Um, Gaming. What do we got going? Gaming. Um, so the last weekend of March, March 28th, we've got March to Victory coming up. I may be running my Battle of Endor scenario for Fistful of Lead Galactic Heroes. We'll see what Jay Wiley is needing in ways of having people run games. And then on April 18th, my buddy Joel's son Ian is hosting a game day over at his house. Um, we'll probably see either War Master or I'm hoping Dragon Rampant. That'll be good. Um, Charles says music. Dad had talent. Me, zip, nada. Yeah, yeah, Charles. I'm not going to say Dad had a lot of talent, but he did play trombone in high school. Um, Mom played the flute in high school. Both were pretty good at it. My stepdad was really good at playing the trumpet. I never got to hear him play, unfortunately. Would have really loved to, but not only was he in the marching band and got to march, I think it was the Rose Bowl back in high school. It was one of those prestigious parades, but he was also in. Uh, he also was in the jazz band at high school, so pretty good stuff. Me, I I can't carry a tune in a bucket. I love to sing. I'm just not any good at it. Um, so uh, Telemachus says I do a mean mouth harp. Fair enough. And Mythos, my brother got the musical talent in my family. Um, I think at one point in time, my brother Jay got got a bass and was learning it. I don't know how far he got with it, so we'll see. Going to go through rules for Suikan World War II Japanese sub, still messing with some GHQ armor on the back table. There you go. There you go. I like to see that. Um, like I said, I'm currently working on these Bretonians. Uh, Once the Bretonians are done, I do think I'm either going to go vampire counts or maybe dwarves. I'm not sure. Um, Seeing that the the second Saturday of the month group, which is Joel and my buddy Copeland, and some others, already has dwarves. I might I might stay with the vampire counts. Now they've already got undead, but they don't have the vampire counts. So I might go with that. I might go with the vampire counts, and I know my brother is doing vampire counts also. But we'll see. He's all the way over in Illinois, and I'm here, so um, we can have a really big vampire count army when he comes over. Wolf Brother says, Mythos says, same, I love to sing, I'm just not good at it either. Uh, your brother's name is Jay? Yeah, I take it the channel's named after him. Kind of. Let me touch on that here in just a second. Seeing I know how to keep my mouth shut, the way is shut. There you go. Yes, VC. Yeah, Vampire Counts East, Vampire Counts West. So Mythos, and the rest of y'all have heard this 1,000 times, especially Charles, who has been here from the start. Again, Charles, thank you. I know you're number one on the hot list as far as viewers go, but y'all are all special and important to me. But about 5 years ago, um, living over actually longer ago than that. This had to have been 8 years ago. Holy crap! Yeah, 8 years ago because I was still living in Springfield at the time, actually just south of Springfield, Illinois, Chatham, Illinois. Anyway, um, my brother Jay commented, "Hey, there's a guy that does a paint chat every Saturday night on Facebook Live, um, and here's the link. Go hop on. Anybody with the link can go in and just hang out and chat." So he said, "I'm not going to be able to make it this week because I've got guard drill, but why don't you go and sit and do your thing?" I'm like, all right. So I hop on there, and uh, the guy who was running it was Matt. He's he is what got me to this point of running this show. But that's another completely long ass story. That's how I met McMurray, et cetera and so forth. Anyway, I hopped on and said, "Howdy, folks," as I always start the shows here. And Matt, all I'm seeing is the top of Matt's head because he's painting like this. I say, "Howdy, folks," and without even looking up, he says, "Hey, Jay." Says, "I'm not Jay." "What do you mean you're not Jay? Come on, stop kidding around, Jay." It's like, dude, I'm not Jay. Apparently, I sound a lot like my brother, either over microphone, which, by the way, y'all were probably not hearing the greatest from me because my microphone was all the way over beside my light. Okay, is that better, guys? Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, he said, "Stop kidding around, Jay." It's like, dude, look up. And he looks up and says, "Oh, hey, yeah, you're not Jay." So that nickname got tagged. He decided at some point that, well, the guy who owned the the Facebook group that we were doing um, the live with decided to make some rules changes, which is fine, completely to his purview. It's his channel; he could do whatever he wanted to. And Matt decided he didn't want to uh, follow those rules and decided, hey, let's move the show over to YouTube. And so we started up YouTube, and I was, you know, not Jay during all of that. Um, Things happened, and that show disappeared. And I decided March of, well, shit, we're coming up 4 years now. Yeah, I think we're coming up on 4 years now of this show. On March 1st or March 2nd of 2022, I think it was, I decided to, hey, let's see what happens. And I went live for the first time and had my first show. And I've been going weekly ever since, for the most part. And since I already had a name of Not Jay, I decided to keep with the moniker and go with, the Chronicles of Not Jay at Not Jay Tabletop Gaming. So there you go, Mythos. Probably a little bit longer explanation that you wanted, but there's the explanation. And guys, I've bored enough people that they've left at this point, so I apologize. So, what is everybody else working on out there? I know Charles has got some Japanese sub stuff happening. He's got some World War II 1285th armor from GHQ going. So, pipe up, let me know what y'all got. I know Mythos, if he's painting, he's probably painting some Warhammer 40K something or others, more than likely. So, and again, since it's just me solo, I will probably go a little bit shorter than what I normally do on 2 hours. I've been reading through the Fallout Solo RPG book. There's a solo RPG book out now. Okay. Do you know if it's anything like the solo Star Trek RPG, the Captain's Log game? Because if so, that would be interesting. I really like the Captain's Log game. It's kind of cool. It's more of it's very much seems to be more of a writing exercise that's led by certain guidelines than it is an actual role-playing game, which is perfectly okay. I like I said, I dig it. I like it a lot. So yeah, Tomix, let me know if that follows solo RPG. It's a pre-order. It is pre-order for hard copy, but they give you immediate PDF at checkout. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'll have to take a look at that because I've got the Fallout RPG, the regular one, and I ran it for my brother and nephew a couple of sessions before I moved last year. So yeah, it's my nephew. Yes, most tables with kind of slimmed down of the regular game. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like the Fallout universe. I remember playing the original pre-Fallout game. Shit, I'm drawing a blank on what it's called now. Obviously, it's not Fallout. Shit. You track areas on a square grid. Okay, cool. Anyway, Dad had a Wasteland. That's right. Thank you, Jay. Brother comes in with the. I can never remember Wasteland. I don't know why, because that's where you are. You're in the Wasteland. Anyway, Dad had an old AT&T. I think it was an 8086 or 8088, something like that. And that was one of the games that we had on there was Wasteland. Uh, so that was a lot of fun. Um, and then moved to when I bought my first Mac in 1995. I picked up the original Wasteland. Tomix remembers it for the Commodore 64. Yeah, old school there. Um, I remember having lots of magenta and cyan colors on the monitor. Um, lots of cyan and magenta. Anyway, so yeah, I have liked the Fallout universe for quite a while. Really enjoy it. Um, of course, I have Fallout 4 on my Xbox, and I have not watched the second season of Fallout on Amazon. I've watched it. I watched the first season, and I thought it was really really good. I thought it did a really good job of getting people that have never played the game to get into the universe. Uh, and for those that were, that have already experienced with the universe, it did a lot of good there as well. And I apologize if y'all are hearing the dogs. Apparently, something walked by the house and they're going ape shit, um, as dogs tend to do, especially when there's four of them up there. So, yeah. Anywho, but yeah, I really enjoy Fallout. I've played it quite a bit on my Xbox. Um, so I've been I enjoyed the RPG. Speaking of RPGs, coming up in a couple of weeks in March, the gaming group's getting together, and we're going to have uh, our first actual gameplay session of Star Trek Adventures from Modiphius. Um, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, they do ambiance for post-apocalypse better than anyone. Yeah, I do truly like it. And like the RPG feels very much along the lines of the video game. So it's a good quote unquote analog version, so to speak. So I like it. And then we'll see how Star Trek Adventures goes. I'm actually the time frame I'm running is the Lost era. It's it's right around the same time as Enterprise, the loss of Enterprise C. Which Fallout is my favorite? I'm gonna have to go with Fallout 4. Not because of the story or anything, but just ease of play. I'm much more of uh, a player for story, and not a player um, for necessary gameplay. Um, but I think Fallout 4 does the best of allowing someone like myself to who's not really into first person shooters to have a first person shooter feel with the game. Now Fallout 2 had a pretty decent story, I thought. So, hope they do a solo Trek Adventures in the future. Although I have all the first edition PDFs from Humble Bundle, they do. It's called Captain's Log, and there's 4 different covers. You've got TOSs, which is the one I've got. TNG. Um, they've got, I think it is Voyager and Discovery. Um, it's either Voyager or DS9, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, check it out. like I said, they do have the solo Trek adventures. Um, so it's pretty good. Like I said, Fallout 4 for the looks and ease of play, um, and the story isn't that deep, but it's okay. Uh, I think 2 and 3 have got, well, 2 and New Vegas have got the better uh, the better um, storylines. New Vegas storyline is really good, and so um, yeah. The thing with New Vegas is, and same, both New Vegas and Fallout 3. Um, it seems like it's much more difficult to get through the storylines. It's it's you die a lot easier, um, which I'm not a big fan of. I mean, yes, it's realistic. You're out there in the wasteland getting, you know, eaten by rad scorpions or radioactive bears and whatnot, but still, still would, prefer a little bit easier. But um, I would like to do some tabletop gaming in that. It's just the models are crazy expensive. Now the PDF or the STLs, not so much. I just haven't gone and got any of the STLs, but they're already made plastic miniatures, ABS miniatures are getting pricey. Um, very much like the pricing of the Star Wars models by uh, Atomic Mass Games. Uh, both the both Legion and Shatterpoint are both getting pretty expensive, especially Shatterpoint. Um, yeah, I know that they're bigger models, but it's, I mean, if I remember correctly, they're damn near $25-$30 a piece, um, and you still have to assemble and paint them. Uh, so, and unfortunately, Atomic Mass Games got rid of Armada and X-wing, if I'm remembering correctly, which is a damn shame because now getting those models on the secondary market has become crazy stupid expensive. Um, Not that I necessarily like playing the games, but I like playing games with those models, specifically Fistful of Lead Jet Fighters and the Fistful of Lead Jet Fighters Armada rules. Um, been having a lot of fun with those with my buddy Reese, who's again, like I said, in here. He's actually packing. They're moving houses in the not too distant future, like days, less than a week, I think, maybe. So best of luck to him and his family. But he is going to be about 45 minutes to an hour closer to me, which is good because you get to see him a little more often, a little more frequently. Uh, um, he'll be coming up this direction a little more frequently. I'll be able to make trips down there once I'm back to work a little more frequently. So that'll be all good. Um, yeah, I need to hit up Modifius and see what they've got STL wise for the for the different models for Fallout, because I would like to use those models um, in games, specifically in Fistful of Lead, Wasteland Warriors. You could also use them in Xenos Rampant. That would be that'd be a good like I said, I've played Dragon Rampant twice now, and I really really like those rules. Um, and I understand Xenos Rampant is similar, obviously, being of the same, you know, the same uh, kind of rule set. Some different, a little bit different feel for it. Uh, and then something my buddy Joel and Copeland have talked about is using Lion Rampant to do ancients using 3 millimeter, 3 or 6, I think 6 millimeter models. I think that would look really good. The one thing I liked about the game on Saturday is that we had standard War Master uh, unit sizes. It's the three bases, uh, and especially with the infantry. I guess the infantry was we were using 6 bases for infantry, and when that is 4 or 5 guys, 2 per base, and you got 6 bases, that is that looks pretty impressive. Um, it looks a lot nice. In my opinion, it looks better than 28 millimeter. Now, granted, 28 millimeter uh, figures themselves look beautiful if they're painted well. I'm not necessarily one to paint them well. I paint them. I paint my 28 millimeter stuff very similarly to the way I paint my 10 millimeter stuff. Um, Good enough. Now, people tell me that it looks good, and I appreciate them saying that. But I'm not a James Wapple. I'm not a Golden Demon award winning painter by any means. So my 28 millimeter stuff doesn't necessarily look that great. And besides, when you're dealing with 28 millimeter, you got your infantry force is 12 dudes. It's and I can't remember. I've heard it said several times by several different people, so I don't know who originally coined it. But I've heard it from my brother, and I've heard it from Henry Hyde. In 28 millimeter in a mass combat setting, it's just looks like a couple of guys walking around with a flag. You know, we'll see. Atomic says humble bundle for everything Fallout RPG, minis, rules, and STLs for $25 for 7 more days and 16 hours. Okay, very cool. Speaking of sales, right now I think at least until the end of this week, until I think it's until February 28th. It's a 25% discount off of Fistful of Lead horse and musket stuff, black powder things over at Fistful of Lead or wiley-games.com. You can get that 20% discount off of anything that is horse and musket related, black powder related. So the rules, of course, the red. Hold on, let me pull it up. I don't want to tell you the wrong names on things. Like I said, wiley-games.com gets you there. Yeah, 20% off all black powder products through March 1st. So that includes Fistful of Lead, Horse and Musket, Red Hatchets, and Black Powder. Um, he's including Glorious Adventures in the Age of Steam. So if you don't already have it, it's a great time to get it with that 20% discount. The cards, the bundles, the status markers, both the wooden chips and the Lexan plastic markers, the PDFs, all of the different 99-cent scenarios, any mugs or T-shirts, all of that 20% off. It's automatic discount. You don't have to put anything in. So yeah, head on over to Wiley Dash Games and grab it between now and the 1st of March, which is this Sunday. So still got plenty of time. Check it out. Yeah, if I somehow come up with an extra $25, Telemachus, um, I will definitely be heading over to the Fallout RPG, our humble bundle for everything Fallout. Sounds like a good deal, especially for the STLs. So, what else have I been working on? Will I be working on? I don't know. Like I said, I'm really focusing on these Bretonians right now. I've got quite a bit printed up. I got some more that I need to get printed, so I'll get that done. And I'm not gonna paint up to a full force in Warmaster. I am gonna paint up for a force in for Dragon Rampant because that would probably get me on the table quicker. So, hello, Chris Long. How you doing today, sir? Glad you could join us this evening. Um, so yeah, and then once I get the Bretonians done, I'll move to another army. I like to have at least two armies, two different factions for a game because that way I can provide everything needed for a game day with somebody. Um, Eventually, I'd like to have enough Dragon Rampant armies to be able to have 4, 5, 6 guys at a time playing. So, oh no, he forgot what day it was. That's okay. That's okay. I only reason I know today is Wednesday is because tomorrow is Thursday and I've got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I got to go see my podiatrist so he can poke at my toe again and dig on it some. Yeah, last Thursday he took a look at it and said, "Yeah, we need to kind of clean that out a little." So he got this little loop scalpel, and he didn't go more than about a half a millimeter down into it, but he scraped it up to look a little bit like hamburger. He said sometimes you gotta reactivate the wound for the body to realize, oh, hey, there's still something going on here. So, but he said I don't have to be in a full gauze wrap on the foot anymore. Just a Band-Aid and some what do they call this? Idosorb. Uh, Catazomer iodine gel. Basically, it's iodine in a paste. So see how that goes. Nicolaya, how you doing, sir? Okay, we got three Chris's in the house. We got Chris East, Chris West, and Chris Central. Hope you guys are doing well. What have y'all been up to now that y'all are here? Mr. Long, Mr. Nguyen, what are y'all working on? I don't think I've shown this to you guys yet. For Christmas, my brother sent me and sent to my dad a baseball cap with the Union trumpet that was emblazoned upon the kepi hats of the Federals, the Union forces, and had this on the back, 15th Iowa Volunteer Infantry, because let me get it straight here, our great grandfather um, had when he joined up, started off with the 15th Iowa before transferring to, I think it was an assistant surgeon to the 51st Colored Infantry, which started off as the 1st Mississippi, if I remember correctly. Hey, Joey, how you doing, buddy? This is when your favorite streamer is Joe Uncle. How you doing, sir? Glad you could make it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my nephew has joined us. Keep it clean, boys. Keep it clean. But yeah, he sent me that hat. I'm quite taken aback by it. I like it a lot. So just a little bit of family history there, and he's got the hat. I got the hat. Our dad's got the hat. So kind of a family thing there. Nagoya is waiting for the coffee to finish brewing, then figure out what to do with Hungarians in my altered timeline, Der Weltkrieg game. It's January 5th, 1915, and they recently took back Stanislaw. I say damn the torpedoes full speed ahead. And Joey there, Chris Long says hi. Nguyen says hi. So, anywho, let's see. So what? Chris Long, what have you been working on? I hear you. Where are you? There you are. Come here. Come here. Urgh. Say hi to everybody, Kara. Big girl. Yeah. Oh yeah. The sweet kitty. And gonna see what Nguyen's Austro-Hungarians are doing. I figured it was going to be a World War One something or other. Rather, whether it was real World War One or fake World War One. I'm scrolling up. Okay. I see that you forgot what day it was. And we are everywhere. You said hi to Joey. You said hi to Mythos. You forgot what day it was. Already said that. All right. If you entered something that didn't come through, so, oh well, life goes on. What are you doing? You're just standing here. I'm on my show. You want me to pet you? Okay. All right. So I'm petting Kara now. Apparently, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Right under we are everywhere. Yeah, it didn't come through. whatever you posted right underneath "We Are Everywhere," it didn't come through. So I don't know. I was I was watching Greg and Ashley on Sunday, and half the things that I was commenting on wasn't coming through. Um, I was watching Mythos last Friday. Half the things I typed didn't seem to come through. I don't know what's going on. Um, it's weird. It's YouTube. It's Google. What do you expect? I guess we need to get more data centers built. Maybe if I go back to work and help build those data centers, maybe it'll. But you didn't hear that from me. You didn't. I'm not working at a Google data center right now, but you didn't hear that from me. Um, Anywho, let me check something. See if it somehow might have. Um, YouTube Studio. Go to content. Go to live. Go to right now. Um, yeah, it didn't come across on my YouTube either. Definitely weird. Definitely weird. Um, no, it's not your fault, Mythos. It's like I said, it's something weird with get off the keyboard, silly ass cat. Um, it's definitely something with YouTube. Um, I always blame YouTube. Let's see. Strange. Nope, did not see anything retyped either. There must be something in there that's automatically being censored. That's all I can think of. Um, it doesn't like a word that you used. God forbid we use adult words in our adult lives. Um, yeah, Telemachus says no. YouTube has been screwing with things a lot lately. Yeah, I honestly I think it's AI that is being overprotective on stupid shits. African. It doesn't like African. All right. Okay. I saw African. I don't know about the rest of y'all. But yeah, we're absolutely gonna blame uh, YouTube/Google for this. You know, I've been drinking lots of water lately. Um, Spanish Civil. Oh, you're still working on your Moroccans for Spanish Civil War. Um, that makes sense. Okay, why? I don't know. Yeah, Telemachus is seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah, there is something. Like I said, um, there's something in the way that those words were put together um, that I think YouTube is censoring because it doesn't like how those words are put together. Um, because, like I said, God forbid we use, adult words as adults using adult language. And I don't mean like, foul language, just language of adults. So weird. Anywho, yeah, very cool. Yeah, I saw the ones that you had posted previously. How are the pins working out? You said you were working the. You're going to be using pins to work on them. I I did this using the orc skin speed paint marker. I took about 45 seconds and did this. I thought that turned out pretty good. I like it at least. I definitely want to get some more of those. Yeah, so much faster than paints. For me, yeah, it's definitely faster than paints because you don't have to keep going back to the paint pot or the bit of paint that you put on your palette and cleaning the brush to sharpen the point back up. You just get done. Since February 4th, I've done over 100 figures. Holy mazzola! Look at you, sir. That is quite nice. Um, I have not quite got that amount done. Since I started working on Bretonians, I've gotten, well, these four guys done, as I've showed previously. Um, so yeah, and Mythos, those are 28 millimeter dudes also. Um, yeah, I'm digging these. I definitely want to get some more. Um, I want to get some of those AK paints, AK pins. Um, they've got them down at Tabletop here in town. I could either go down there and pick some up, or I can order them online. I don't know if ordering them online would be any cheaper, um, but I'll have to. I mean, if they're a lot cheaper, I'll probably order them online. But if they're not a lot cheaper, um, I do like to. I do like to, you know, spend my money with the local gaming shop when I can. But I mean, if there's like a 25-30% discount ordering them online over what they've got down at retail at Tabletop, because that's a 35-40 minute drive to get down there. Um, so you got gas included on that. Mithos says I've got 3 of the AK pins so far. They're pretty cool. Okay, Chris. Yeah, you'll send me that link so I can take a look at them. Um, I like the idea of pins. I like the idea of anything that makes it easier for me to paint. Um, like I've said, I'm not a great painter. In my opinion, I'm a good enough painter. I like what I do. Um, if it is a special figure for me, I will take time with it. Um, my brother Jay, has stated that my Bosk miniature uh, is probably one of the best ones I've ever done. I tend to agree. I'm also a big fan of my Boba Fett that I painted. Um, okay, cool. Nagoya says player registration opened for Can Games a few days ago. Um, Convention held every year during Victoria Day weekend here in Ottawa. Very cool. And he says, I'll be running Pocket Battles from Z Man Games and also World War One from SPI. Mucho excited. outstanding. I hope you have a lot of fun. Take some photos and get them posted up on the post them up on the Discord so we could all share the excitement. All right. I saw the Green Stuff World has pins that can be used for washes. I want to try those. Yeah, there you go. And Chris Long has sent the link. Okay, let me take a look here. Hold on one second. 240 color acrylic paint markers, soft brush tip acrylic paint pens. Yes, visit the site. Oh, okay. That's a lot of colors. That's like every color you could want. Free ink system, rich colors, flexible tip. Can be used on paper, timber, rock, ceramic, glass, and canvas. Obviously, plastic. Very cool. Very, very cool. I'll have to take a look at more in depth on those. They have smaller sets as well. Yeah, I'll have to definitely take a look there. So, but actually, let me see if I can find some pictures of my Boba Fett and my boss. Hold on one second, guys. Let's go back to years. How far back am I gonna go? That far back? He's got 6 squads. He just finished his last infantry squad and has 6 squads. Okay. I think it's well before that. Let me bear with me, folks, while I look for these models. Okay, trip to the zoo. Now, what rules are you going to be using with this for your Spanish Civil War? Mr. Chris. Now, pack mules and mountain guns. Oh, that's nice. Okay, there's what a tanker. I think it's before all of this. A World of Flame from Osprey. Okay, cool. Is it one of their blue books or is it a more advanced one? Okay, Lincoln Library. Yeah, I'm definitely before this. Oh, if you guys want, if you guys like good sci-fi that's easy to read, definitely check out a book called Mechanical Failure by Joe Zija. If I'm pronouncing that name right. If Jay, if you're still out there, let me know if I'm pronouncing that right. Mechanical Failure is the first book of a series, and it's funny. It's a military sci-fi that, in my opinion, is along the same lines as Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy in its humor. So Charles is waiting for two orders from Noble Knight, uh, and A World of Flame is written by Paul Eagleston, who owns the Empress Miniatures. It is a blue book. Okay, very cool. I should be getting close because it was right about the same time we got the boys, Clark and Kent. Waiting on OSG to mail out the two games I've ordered. Napoleonics. We've gone too far back. Another trip to Disney. Oh, gosh. Another zoo trip. Posted pics on Discord. Okay, let's take a look. I will share those. There you go. There you go, guys. Quite nice. They're quite good. I'm also going little Velcro discs to the tips of some Nerf darts. Yikes. I think I might have gone too far back. Yep. Okay. Looks like I'll survive my youngest granddaughter's 6th birthday. Oh boy. For those after hour gaming. Yikes. That's a little disturbing. Just a little disturbing. When did I paint those dudes? Okay, there's my Darth Vader. There's those guys. Okay, there's them. There's my Leia. I should be getting close. There's my Chewbacca. And this may be the Chewbacca that I sent off to Charles. Okay. Should be close. Closer now. Ah, here we are. Ha ha. So we're going to change up what we're looking at here. All right, there we go. There's my Boba Fett. That was me, guys. Sorry. That was after or before he got spit out of the Sarlacc. It's his prime. That's Boba Fett prime, not when not chubby Boba Fett in the Mandalorian. Uh, Chewie and the Ewok work as tech mercs with my space mouselings. Uh, Gave the Ewok a bazooka. Nice. Thank you, Chris Nguyen. I appreciate it. Yeah. So, and he's 95% painted with contrast paints. Like I said, I think I did a pretty good job with him. Nope. That's a picture of our former hedgehog. So there you have it. So, anywho, like I said, if it's an important, if important to me or it's someone that I really want to get a good paint job on, I will take the time. How would you stop it? I told you to go away. Now go away. Thank you. Um, I'll take time and and effort, and I just for just regular stuff, that's going to be on the game table, like my uh, War Master / Dragon Rampant miniatures. I'm not going to go as in depth on it. Um, you know, I'm not gonna go, really any fancier than this on these guys. You know, they're supposed to have stuff like I don't know, like trifoils and ermines and whatnot, and I I'm not gonna do that. That's not my guy. That's not my way. So oops, wrong key press. I like what you did with the details, like Boba's Fett's knee armor being scuffed up. Yeah, and it was like I said, I spent a good amount of time on him. Um, I being that he's one of my favorite characters, and yes, I know he's overhyped, and yes, I know um, he's not all that, but to me, he's one of my favorite characters in Star Wars because he looks cool. And it's the rule of cool for me. So, anywho. Now, he was painted with regular paints for the most part. Um, I think, yeah, he's about 95% regular paint. So, anywho. All right. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for the night. I actually went longer than I was expecting myself to, an hour and 20 in. So I hope everybody has a great week coming forward. Um, I know, like I said, I don't have any games planned. I got some painting to do tomorrow over at Doug's. I got my doctor's appointment to see how my toe is doing tomorrow. Hopefully he'll come back and say, "Hey, yeah, everything's looking great." So fingers crossed. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And until next time, we will see you on the flip side. Take care, all.